What saith the Scripture? The living Word. The Bible is an amazing self-referencing work of art. Interwoven within it are at least 63,779 cross-references which elaborate on and explain what it all means, depicted in this beautiful diagram. The base comprises a vertical line for each chapter in the Bible, with Genesis 1 on the left, where the length of each line reflects the number of verses in that chapter. The long line in the center is Psalm 119, and complete books alternate in shades of gray. Each cross-reference is depicted by an arc, with a color corresponding to the distance between the two chapters, creating a rainbow-like effect. And these are the explicit references, inviting us to explore the innumerable interconnections embedded within and among the various concepts and how they all interrelate with, build on, and flesh one another out. Psalm 139, 17 and 18. God has breathed out this entire text. He inspired it, 2 Timothy 3:16, and surgically leverages these living interconnections as he pleases in the hearts of those who are seeking him. James 1:21. Through his word, he comforts and guides us in our individual particular circumstances. Hebrews 4:12. Enabling us to engage with his spirit and understand his heart, to fully furnish, guide, and equip us in living with and for him. 2 Timothy 3:16 and 17. God inspires his word like this with infinite depth, precision, and scope so we can meditate on it endlessly. Psalm 1:2. Comparing scripture with scripture, Matthew 4:4, searching out all the treasures of his nature and way, Proverbs 2:4 and 5. For example, through part of a verse hidden in an obscure messianic prophecy written by Isaiah hundreds of years earlier, Isaiah 49:8, the Apostle Paul discovers salvation is available now, 2 Corinthians 6:2, to all who earnestly seek him, 2 Corinthians 6:1. Moments later, Paul weaves a thread from Leviticus 26:12, into another from Ezekiel 3:27, to understand how God indwells and infuses the community of believers as a living temple, 2 Corinthians 6:16. In his very next breath, in verses 17 and 18, he blends several more distinct references together to call all believers to come out and separate ourselves from the world, Isaiah 52:11. So God will receive us into his family as sons, 2 Samuel 7:14, and daughters, just as he has promised, Isaiah 43:6. Paul leverages these exceeding great and precious promises, 2 Peter 1:4, to exhort all believers to pursue perfect holiness in the fear of God, 2 Corinthians 7:1. How does Paul do this? As he memorizes the Old Testament, Psalm 119:9, and meditates on it continually, Psalm 119:97, God shows up, teaching him and revealing precious truths to him, Ephesians 3:3 and 4, to equip him in his calling to preach the gospel to the nations, Ephesians 3:6 and 7. God is showing us his willingness to personally nourish and instruct each of us himself through his written word, Ephesians 4:21. The scripture foresees and preaches, Galatians 3:8, speaking as though it were alive, Romans 10:11. We're to let his words dwell in us richly, Colossians 3:16, saturating our minds and hearts with them, Jeremiah 15:16, focusing and seeking infinite riches, Psalm 19:10 and 11, His very words are spirit, and they are life. John 6:63. They will never pass away. Matthew 24:35. What treasure remains hidden in these vibrant, living texts, just waiting to be discovered? Proverbs 2:3-6. They are vast. The unsearchable riches of Christ await us. Ephesians 3:8. O God, open our eyes that we may behold wondrous things out of your law. Psalm 119:18.